Howdy guys, Josh Reese here with another Glorious Takes video right after the Houston Rockets loss to the Golden State Warriors. Big old fat L for the Rockets. It wasn't really that bad. We'll get into that in a minute. Let me tell you about who I am in case this is your first time you're watching. My name is Josh Reese. You can follow me on Twitter at Mr. Joshua. I would appreciate it if you like and subscribe to this channel and possibly share it with a friend, maybe an enemy. I don't care. All the watches are just the same. But anyways, let's dive right into the Rockets' loss. They lose to the Golden State Warriors by a score of 113 to 106. And it really felt a lot closer than that. While the Rockets did get blown out in the first quarter, they closed the game pretty damn hard. James Harden on the loss following the game. Honestly, we did a really good job through the last three quarters. We had numerous situations where we didn't make threes. We just can't spot a team 17 points in the first quarter, so we lose by 6. We spot them 17 or 20 points, something like that, and we only made 5 threes, so we had our opportunities. We've got to get off to a better start. And that's pretty much what sums up the game. The Rockets weren't ready in the first quarter, got blown out, had to fight back the whole way through. I believe Patrick Beverley after the game said the team was bright-eyed and bushy-tailed in the first quarter, and it took them a little bit to adjust. He very much was very adamant against the team having problems with Golden State screens, but there was a few points in the game where it looked like guys were getting lost on screens and having a hard problem following people through. There was at one point in the game, I want to say it was in the second quarter, maybe the third quarter, when Clint Capella absolutely lost somebody. And Mike D'Antoni is flipping out on the sideline, pointing to a wide-open Stephen Curry. Luckily, that did not cost them an open three-pointer because Curry ended up missing the shot. But D'Antoni called the timeout immediately, and I'm sure he told Clint what he was doing wrong. So, not too many negatives about this game. The Rockets kind of synced up what they did wrong in the first quarter and really played hard throughout the last three quarters. And despite failing to make three-pointers, made themselves a game. Had this team have been any other team other than the Warriors or maybe the Spurs, Rockets probably would have ended up winning this game. But the Warriors end up making threes down the stretch, and that is what cost the Rockets. Rockets had a couple opportunities to make some wide-open threes later in the stretch, but it really looked like they were trying to find two-pointers instead of threes, that they were going out of their way not to run. I don't want to say not to run the offense, but it looked like they were trying to avoid taking the open three-point shot just because that was not going for them. There was a couple double clutch threes, really out of characteristic three-point shooting for the Rockets, and you don't expect them to go 5 of 31 against many teams. And in a 7-game series against the Warriors, I doubt they would go 5 for 31 more than once in a series. So the Rockets are going to get a chance at the Warriors in a couple of games, and I would suspect that they'll be a much better team. I don't want to say much better team. That's unfair. I suspect that they'll shoot a lot better when they face the Warriors again. One of the negatives in the game was James Harden. His wrist, apparently it was ailing him. He did admit after the game that it is kind of hard to follow through. It's a right-handed shot. I'm a right-handed guy. Follow through with his shot because his wrist is hurting. Patrick Beverley did say it was kind of tough to see the leader of the team go through what he's going through. So we're up and wondering if this is going to be a game that the Rockets are going to maybe, while they don't rest people, they don't do it, folks, but maybe this is a way for the Rockets to DNP James Harden with an injury rather than DNP rest, because literally there is nothing left for the Rockets to play for. 3 seed is pretty much already theirs, and they are not going to win 60 games with a loss tonight. They had to win out just to win 60, and that was something that a couple guys did mention that was maybe like a little goal for them, but 60 wins is not going to happen. And I think a lot of people would rather have James Harden close to 100% healthy during the playoffs than try to play through these games and be 50, 60% healthy when they get to the playoffs. The Rockets are already dealing without Ryan Anderson right now, so maybe you rest. Okay. Stop saying rest. Maybe you can't even say sit. What can you say? Maybe you take this wrist injury from James Harden and you use it as an opportunity to sit James Harden with the injury, and when Ryan Anderson is healthy, in a week or two, like the Rockets said he could be back from, maybe that's when you bring Harden back up off the bench and you let them to build some chemistry going together into the playoffs. Because right now, these games are pretty meaningless. Game against the Trailblazers really does you nothing. Game against the Warriors again, yeah, you want to get the Warriors for a little bit of maybe emotional momentum going into the playoffs or something like that, but really in the big scheme of things, it really means absolutely nothing. So, just some overall thoughts about this game from the Houston Rockets. There's a little bit of negative in the fact that they couldn't make threes, and they had a really horrible first quarter, but they kind of showed out with the rest of the three quarters. They never really did make threes, but they kind of showed out. The defense cranked up, and they started playing a lot better throughout the rest of the game. It was just that first quarter that hammered them, and James Harden's injury. So those are really the only negatives to come out of this game. Not too many positives, other than you don't really expect the Rockets to shoot 16% from three for a very long stretch. But it is a little worrisome that Lou Williams had 17 points. I really can't find too many problems with the Rockets' offense tonight. I mean, they scored 106 points and only made 5 threes. So, I mean, you want to knock them, but, I mean, Lou Williams had 17 points. Clint Capella had 21. Eric Gordon only had 10, so maybe that's a little bit of a minor problem. I want to say he had those 10 points in the first quarter, and he might have been shut out since then, after the first. But that's pretty much all I got to say about this game. Rockets never led. Warriors led throughout. The Warriors had up to a 22-point lead, but in the closing moments of the game, it was really close. And while it is a big fat L, I don't think the Rockets are going to lose sleep over this one. They competed their asses off in this game, and shouldn't really worry you too much. So if you're out there, Red Nation, Rockets fans, don't worry about this game. Minor drop in the bucket compared to what's coming up. So, guys, I appreciate you guys for watching. I'm going to bounce it out of here. We will be back. I believe the Rockets come back on Tuesday next week? Tuesday or Thursday? I don't know. One of those days. But I'll have some Astros videos coming up. I know I have an Astros video on my profile already now. So if you want to go back on my YouTube channel and look, I kind of depicted what the Astros batting order should be. So go and look that. I use this big old giant piece of paper. I like using that. It was pretty cool. So that's all I got to say. Guys, I'm going to bounce. Appreciate you for watching this video. Make sure to click the subscribe button here, or maybe it's here, whichever. But thank you again, and I'm going to bounce.